What are you exceptionally good at, but hate doing? Part 1. Data entry. I can type very fast and very accurately, but it's the most mindless task with zero creativity. Data entry is a gateway to the creative world of data analysis, full of such rich creative choices as, should I use a stacked bar chart or a stacked percentage chart? Do I want to show this data by day or clustered by week? And what shade of gray is best for this data? That, unironically, sounds like something I'd enjoy. I actually like organizing things. Why, yes, I am extremely boring. How could you tell? Cleaning. Until you're 15 minutes in and realize everything's dirty, and you have to clean it now because you know you're not going to clean anything tomorrow. Lawn work? I can do it all. Struggle to do a basic mow and trim on my own yard on time. Organization. At work, everything is pristine. Any video game I play becomes disgustingly structured. The idea of organizing my bedroom makes me want to lie on the floor and cry. Much the same. At work, I clean as I go. Organized, tidy, tools cleaned and sorted, and I know where everything is. Every bolt, drill bit, spanner, item of test equipment, oil can, widget, useful piece of scrap material. If anyone wants to know where anything is, they ask me. At home? Screw it. I'll vacuum tomorrow. No clean mugs? That one's not so bad. I'll just rinse it out. One end of the kitchen counter is for mail. The other day, I found an unopened letter from 2016 with a £50 discount voucher in it that would actually have been useful to me at the time. I am very good at handling children, which is ironic because I don't particularly like kids. Same. Kids enjoy my company, but I really, really do not enjoy theirs. Being on time. I only hate it because nobody I know does it. I'm always early, and I hate it, but I'm only early because I'm always paranoid I'm going to be late, so I leave really early. Public speaking. I am an introvert, and I do safety training for my company. Comprehension has gone up drastically, and I've done quite a few talks on how to use science to make safety fun in my industry. But after, I have to shut myself in a hole for at least 3 hours to get myself back to center, because it is so exhausting to me. I have to sort of be a different person, and doing that is mentally draining. Yeah, it's weird. I'm one of those people who has trouble holding a normal conversation with somebody, apart from people that I know, of course. But if I'm giving a public speech or a presentation, suddenly, everyone pays attention to me and seems to respect my insight a lot. I've made some friends and contacts solely because they've witnessed me giving a speech and been impressed by the performance. I just get more confident and talk with a, I know what I'm talking about voice, when I can actually talk about a specific topic with some authority. Then someone random comes up to me and asks, so tell me about yourself, and I'm suddenly totally clueless on what they're after. So after presentations, I always have this, what just happened moment, even though I've done a lot of them. I'm a teacher and love teaching most of the time, but I'm generally quiet outside of class. On a busy day, I might be talking 5 hours straight, which is just exhausting. When I come home, my wife sometimes gets mad at me because I have nothing to say, but I feel like I've literally used up more than my capacity of spoken words for the day. Being nice to customers. The amount of times I confuse my lines. A customer walks in and I walk up to them, smile, and politely ask, would you like a bag with that? Completely confusion. Sorry, I meant to use my other line. Hi, how are you today? Fixing computers. Please come to me if you need computer fix. We'll fix for cheap. Please. I feel this so hard. I used to love it and got good at it, so I got asked for help constantly. And it's not so much that I mind helping or even that I'm doing it for free, but it was my job and I'm very keen on that whole work-life separation thing. So the one thing I wanted to stop thinking about after I got home was the one thing I got bugged about the most. It seems selfish in retrospect, but I do not want to listen to you yammer on about your screwed up computer for 2 hours after having done it for 8 hours already. Listening to people's problems. Math. I don't know why I'm this good at it, but I hate it so much that's crazy. Ah, so you're good at math. Let me test. 2 plus 2. 36. Final answer. My answer was much lower. You must be really good at math. Everything I have ever become exceptionally good at. As soon as I become proficient at something, the fun stops and it just becomes work. I pretty much only enjoy learning, but I don't get much enjoyment out of performing what I have already learned. For example, I had an amazingly fun time learning how to weld for over 10 years. There's a lot to learn in welding, and you can make major improvements for many years. You can even go your whole career learning new things about welding. But eventually, you reach a point where you have become proficient, and you're only doing minor adjustments to perfect your craft. For me, the joy is gone at that point, and with that goes my passion for it as well. Maybe start teaching. There can be a lot of joy and satisfaction in seeing others become good at things you are teaching them. I worked with a welding supervisor who basically was tasked of getting the skills up. He was very passionate talking about other people's welds and craftsmanship. Apparently, my job. My superiors and coworkers often comment how good I am. In the back of my head, I am thinking, wow, imagine how good I would be if I was actually doing something I care about and was passionate about. I'm actually kind of lazy and don't really do as much as I could do. However, they seem to like what I'm doing, so I do enough to maintain that facade and get compensated fairly well for it. I have thought about quitting a few times, but I've sort of settled in because it's hard to find something else out there. And if I can get away with being lazy but somehow being thought of as good at my job, might as well milk it while I can. This is me. I don't hate my job, I just hate working. I've been working from home for the past 3 weeks, you guys know why, and my superiors commend me every chance they get about how professional I am and how hard I'm working these past weeks, how I'm closing the same number of incidents in less time and with user reviews. I'm playing Animal Crossing most of the time and rewatching Avatar, now Korra as I've already finished with Anne. Me too. I'm super efficient at my job because we receive daily goals. I do my job in 3 or 4 hours, slack the other 4 and pretend I just finished it like 20 minutes before my shift ends. Talking people down from suicide. It's my job. May I ask why you hate it? I've done it a lot. Several times a day sometimes. Just like some other comments are saying, I guess it just sucks it should even be a job. I hear so many stories about why they should die, and how there's nothing out there anymore, and how nobody cares. It's tough and draining sometimes, and it reminds me of how cruel the world can be. But at the same time, I'm glad I can have the ability to do this. Other people's jobs, because I work with a bunch of people that don't do their jobs. Hope you're a project manager, at least you're compensated for doing everyone's job. My technique for getting laggards to do their job is to have them give me a demo to show me their amazing skills or knowledge. At least this works well in IT. Drawing. Been drawing as long as I can remember, but now I just get stressed when I draw. Since grade school to now, everyone and their mother asks me to draw them something in return for absolutely nothing. Got to the point it's the only way I felt noticed in school or around my peers. It's very minuscule, I know, and I'm humbled to an extent that people could see my art and physically want it, but it makes me only draw for myself at the end of the day because of it. Even when I started to do it for money, people just want to skip out on the pay or cut you short, because it didn't take long enough to warrant that price. I just lost the passion and fun of drawing after years of dealing with very rude people who do not think artists deserve money for their time. Find myself enjoying it here and there when I'm bored or making something for myself or friends. Aside from that, I sadly don't think I could handle a career with it. I understand you on a spiritual level here. I started drawing when I was about 6 or 7, and everyone wanted me to draw the dumbest thing for no pay. I kept telling them no and drew for myself. Now people, especially family, keep telling me I should make drawing a career, like going to be an animator for Disney. But I only want to draw when I want to, not because I have to. It should be something I enjoy doing. Debugging. I can find the issue in another people's code faster than they can. I just hate doing it because it requires a lot of sticking stuff to the wall and seeing why it won't stick. Same here. But I guess that applies for most people with a decent coding skill though. You usually find other people's problems quicker than you find your own, as you look at things from a different perspective and distance. Cooking. I'm an amazing cook, but I absolutely hate cooking. Cooking, that hobby you don't want anyone finding out you do, because then they just ask you to do it for them. helping old people with their phones. They absolutely never learn. Yeah, they do the thing you show them, but they know they can just call you to ask you how to do it, so they never bother putting in the effort to learn. It's a vicious cycle that hopefully our grandkids won't have to put up with. Yeah, this is me with my dad. I never want to help him with anything technological because he constantly throws a fit and never wants to learn it. I'm exceptionally good at waking up. I've never not woken up. It's a curse, really. Having to face every new day with a certainty that in all likelihood, my challenges and failures will carry over and over again. Sleep is my mistress, and a whore is she. Night after night, she holds me, coddles me, uses me. When sunlight comes knocking on my door, as it must, she jumps awake and sends me off into the world through the back door. Silent, dreary, and blubbering curses to the wind. It is my back door. She is my guest. And yet every morning I find myself in my lonely nakedness, darting from cover to cover, searching for any sign of respite from the heat of day. Tonight, I will go back into the arms of my familiar. I will let her hold me, coddle me, use me, for one more chance that when sunlight comes knocking, she will keep holding me, coddling me, using me, forevermore. Bro, you ever consider being a poet? Bro, that doesn't pay the bills. I appreciate the kind words. I'll keep writing for you, though. Listening. I'm fairly introvert, so my need for speaking is pretty low, so other people can vent to me and praise me for being a good listener, but it usually bores me. This is me, I think. What bothers me is when people take 2 minutes to get one point across that they already did in the first few seconds. I feel like a large chunk of word conversations are just people repeating themselves, which can be useful when it comes to making sure everyone on the same page, to be fair. But so much of the time, I'm just sitting in my chair for several minutes, listening to people reiterate the same thing over and over. I try to say something to indicate I've understood what they're saying, but they just keep going.